Hello people of the internet. Today we are going to work on Fedora review service. And please don't confuse this with the Fedora review tool itself. It's a different thing. Basically, we have this Fedora review tool which anybody can manually run on their computer. Let me show you. I just want to make sure I don't have any private information here. All right. Okay. So anybody can run that with just Fedora review -b means bug ID in Bugzilla, and you put a ticket here. Let me make this larger also. So this runs some predefined test suite for the package and produces a review.txt output, which contains basically a long list of long checklist, and there are check marks and so on, and you can therefore immediately see if there is some problem with the package or not. The thing is, when you submit a new package to be added to the official Fedora repositories, you are a contributor of that package. There needs to be somebody who will review that package for you, aka reviewer, and you as the contributor need to wait for some random reviewer to appear and review it for you, and the reviewer needs to come to the situation and run this command for you and basically paste the output with some notes to your Bugzilla ticket, which is I would say wasteful, because first you can run the tool for yourself and fix all the issues yourself. However, if you are a new contributor, you don't know that this tool exists. You can also, the reviewer runs the tool and discovers very obvious errors, like for example, I don't know, license is not in the correct format or something like that, and there is one simple command that you can do to fix that, and everything is in the output. So the reviewer basically doesn't need any knowledge. He just needs to know to run this command and paste the output in. And if there is an error, like that's it basically. It is more complicated, of course, if there is no error found by the review tool, and then as a reviewer you need to do a bit more work. So my idea was to create this Fedora review service, which basically runs the Fedora review tool automatically and comments on the Bugzilla ticket, and it makes sure to highlight basically just the errors and what to do with them, not all of the output, to not overwhelm the contributor. It comments just the problems with the package, and the maintainers, the contributors, usually just fix those issues themselves, because those are easy issues to fix. They just weren't aware of that. And then when a random reviewer comes in, all the trivial stuff was already fixed, so he can just give +1 and approve the package straight away, or can focus on more complicated stuff that actually need a human to figure out. So this was I think the service was quite helpful to a lot of people, judging by the fact then when it goes down and there is an outage, which is usually caused by other factors outside of the service. When there is an outage, a lot of people text me that the service is down and if we can do something about that. So I think the service is being helpful to people. We also have this cached package review tracker because searching in Bugzilla is slow and sometimes complicated. And we can see that currently 216 packages are waiting for a review in Bugzilla, basically. And these packages want to be added to the official repositories. We can see those are just new tickets. We can see also that currently 308 tickets are being reviewed, so they have assigned some reviewer to them and they are working together with the contributor to make sure the package can get added. And what is interesting because I implemented it, there is this new tickets that passed CI checks, and there is 66 of them. And if you open this, it's the same table like this one, for example. All the tables are same basically here. But if I open this one, tickets that passed the Fedora review tool, if you open any of these Bugzillas, we can randomly pick this one, for example. You can see it has automation triaged tag, which or keyword, which was set by the Fedora review service. So Fedora review service, you can see build completed successfully. Review template is here, and there are no issues explicitly mentioned in this command. So there were no issues found by the Fedora review tool, so that Fedora review service target this with the automation triaged. And the idea is, as a reviewer, if you come to any of these tickets, you are guaranteed that there are no trivial issues with that ticket. It is either possible that you will come, you will review the ticket in 5 minutes and you will approve because everything is correct, or there will be some more complicated issues, but you will be needed either way. So basically my recommendation and my idea was to do these tickets first, because they are the most need of human intervention, I would say, of a human review. Okay, so all of this to introduce the Fedora review service, how it works, what it is for, and so on. Today specifically, I want to work on a specific, not a problem, on a specific, not a feature actually, on a specific task regarding Fedora review service. For the longest time, I wanted, I need to say one more thing. Basically, Fedora review service is being run on all new comments to the Bugzilla, to the Bugzilla tickets that are Fedora review related, which means that when I deployed this, hard to say when, 3 years ago. When I deployed this 3 years ago, there were a point since when all new tickets and all new comments got reviews. However, all the issues that were before that and that were not updated since then did not receive any review by the Fedora review service. I hope I'm explained it sufficiently. Yeah, basically we have a starting point since when it happened, and everything that was before that did not receive any review. So for the longest time, I wanted to write a script to query all open Bugzilla tickets that were not commented on by the Fedora review service, and I want to run the Fedora review service for them. And I'm not sure if we should only comment on the successful tickets and mark them as automation triaged, or we should spam also the not working tickets anymore, because I assume a lot of the old tickets will just have broken links and so on. I think we should comment on all of them. If there is a bug from a ticket from 2016, for example, and there is a incorrect URL in that, and we will annoy the person that submitted the ticket, then he will probably just close it or something. It doesn't make sense to have broken reports there, broken requests there. So yeah, we will probably comment on all tickets. Okay, that makes sense. I realized before making this video that we don't have any ticket for this, so let's create one. Run Fedora review service for all tickets, let's say. Yeah, the Fedora review service commented only on tickets that were created or updated after the service was deployed 3 years, I cannot even type anymore, 3 years ago, like this, right? It would be helpful to run it on all older bugs. I think this is good enough, and let's create this one. Let's one more time check if there is not the ticket for it, because I'm surprised by that. So no triaged on closed reviews, that's a bug, trace back, not triggered for ticket detector, yeah, something, yeah, RFE, stop relying on sure, traceback, TMT, run, yeah, that's a bug. That's a bug too. broken bug. This is an external issue. Dist-git, sure. Not being triggered, templates wasn't created. Review body monitoring health checks. I think I have this one. I use Sentry for the service. Yeah, I use Sentry for, okay, I use Sentry for logging, but this is more of try to periodically comment and see if there is a new response. Provide opt-out, sure, unable to parse, not evaluated macros, okay. Oh, there is a second page. But yeah, okay, nothing, okay, we don't have the ticket for that, so good. It's a good thing we created this one. Okay, cool. Now, I didn't work on this service for maybe a year, so I don't really remember anything, basically. We will need to figure stuff out together. Fedora review service. Okay, I remember we have some scripts, so maybe something will be useful. List copper projects, no. The Fedora review service builds the packages in copper and runs the Fedora review tool for them in copper, which means we can list all copper projects that are related to reviewing. Stats, okay, stats Bugzilla, maybe this will be useful. Process a message, and I think this will be useful too. So let's open this one. Oops, I didn't want that. And let's open this one and make the font larger. Okay, so let's talk about process a single message. So every time there is a comment in Bugzilla, Bugzilla sends a new message to some bus. I don't know which one from the top of my hand and from the top of my head. It's the shit. It's very common name. I just forgot what was it? Was it RabbitMQ? Is it RabbitMQ? It's possible it's RabbitMQ. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm confusing it. Either way, when there is a comment in Bugzilla, Bugzilla sends a message. Then there is a small service which is called Bugzilla to Fed message, and this service does nothing more than listening to those Bugzilla messages and relaying them to the Fedora messaging. So Fedora messaging is basically all Fedora review services send stuff to the Fedora messaging, and anybody can subscribe to the Fedora messaging hub and filter just the messages that they are interested in and do whatever with that. So Bugzilla, somebody comments on Bugzilla, Bugzilla sends a message, Bugzilla to Fed message relays that to Fedora messaging, and Fedora review service listens to those Fedora messaging messages and builds the packages that they are mentioned in those messages. This script basically can take a message ID and process it process it, which means figuring out if there are URLs to packages there and build them. And comment on the ticket, which is basically something we need to do now for our case. We don't have a message though, because nobody commented on those old tickets. But we need to do something similar, basically. Instead of, let's check this out. So fetch message, and then we do dispatch for that message. Dispatch is basically the main function of the review service. So we will need to do a dispatch in our script. However, it needs a message, and we don't have that. So if we jump to this, see, handle Bugzilla message. So I'm thinking maybe we can just create fake messages for our tickets, because we need message ID. Okay, we need message here in handle build, and we need message ID here. So what do we do with the message here? Message. Oh god, message object. Message object is new message. Okay. But we just need this. What the hell? There's too few information, isn't it? Or maybe it isn't. Because then we are working with the Bugzilla ID, Bugzilla owner. Okay. Handle build, where is it? Where is it? Handle build here. Handle Bugzilla message. So where does BZ come from? Recognize message. Oh god, it's all tailored around messages. So we try to recognize either of these. Based on the message. Okay. I will need to think about that a little bit later. First, let's continue and let's take a look at the stats Bugzilla. So we can get information about a bug. What else? Tickets from Copper projects. Okay, that's not useful because we don't have Copper projects yet for the old tickets. Okay, so this script is not much of a use for us. Okay. So what is going to be the approach we will take? We can do something very smart, I think. We don't have to do this approach of Where the hell is it? This one. We don't have to write a script to run the dispatch and fake the message and so on. Because, check this out, if we go here, the Fedora review service, and we listens for several kind of messages, and one of them is any message that contains this string. Which means we can find it in our code also. It was the recognize something in wherever Bugzilla. Recognize manual trigger. This one is it, I think. Check this out. Yeah. If this string is in the command body, then it's a recognized message, and we then should submit a build from the latest found URL to a build, to a package. Let's maybe try to find that. If we do gr, maybe consumer. Yeah. Check this out. If we have an instance of a manual trigger, then we get the latest source RPM URL for that Bugzilla ticket, and we just handle build. So we submit. We just submit the build, and the message here is not the message containing the URLs. It's just the message that triggered this whole stuff. So it's the manual command, and therefore we should just be able to query all the tickets that we need that don't have any comments yet, comment on them with the triggering string, and to wait until Fedora review service processes them by itself. Also comment anyone containing. Okay, this is important because it was debated previously if only reviewer and contributor should have the access to trigger the build or everybody, and it seems we decided that everybody. One last check if this is really true. So where is it defined? GD, yeah, I pressed the wrong key. Recognized. So if not solve command, yeah, there is nothing about the user. For example, command with source RPM has this check about the users, so anybody can do the manual trigger. Good. Now we need to do some. Okay, let's start a new script then, and we need to do some programming that regards Bugzilla API. Not web, run. So Fedora review service comment maybe let's do unknown tickets, old tickets. Let's do old tickets. Okay, like this, and this will be of course a Python script, so we will copy this one. Comment on alt Fedora review tickets, good enough. And we can comment also, we can copy also this, because I never remember the syntax. And if I mean def main, why the syntax is not being recognized, Python mode main, run main, right, like this. And now I know exactly where we can get the code we need from this tracker. From this tracker, because check this out, tickets that passed the tool, the Fedora review tool without any issues, this needs to query, when generating this table, it needs to query Bugzilla, and it needs to filter stuff. So this we could borrow the code from here, but I think I've done some Bugzilla programming too, and I think we can manage also here, right? If we do Python Bugzilla, yeah, this one, examples, Red Hat query all query. Okay, so these two will be helpful. Yeah, and we can build the query here for component, product, and so on. Okay, cool. Let's try to do that. Should we use the stage Bugzilla instance? Yeah. Let's use the stage Bugzilla instance to not spam. Do not spam the production one with requests. Okay, so like this, buzz API. This seems to be what I use in my code too. Yeah, exactly. So buzz API. I don't want buzz API, I want client. Or do I want something else? What is my typical buzzer? Okay, yeah, for the sake of consistency, use the same name. Now we can do, oh, there is also pages. It is weird to me that I wouldn't have any it's weird to me that I wouldn't have any what is it? Any other script that uses this. I think I have, and I would like to borrow from it. So buzzer API egglot rename buzzer like this. I'm thinking where I can have this. If I try to go to my Git directory and rg this isn't my code. This is my code, however, that's the one we are writing currently. What about Bugzilla? RG bug. Oh my god, okay. What about What about this URL? Too many, too goddamn many. Maybe it is inside of, let's take a look also here. Here, logic, Bugzilla. So I can generate Bugzilla RC, I can get a bug, I can submit a command, I can attach a file, but I don't have a query here. That's weird. I definitely queried from Bugzilla. Is it that I queried inside of that cached issue tracker? I need to take a look, because the querying was a bit annoying, and if I can take it from somewhere, I will definitely take it from somewhere. Fedora cached, how is it called? Package review. Where is the code? Git. If we search for Pagure review stats, is it this one? I think possibly it is. Yeah, I'm here. Why is there a squash commit? Looks like I forgot to squash. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Git clone this one. And let's discover new projects and review stats. And we can see my commit, right? That would be the easiest. Page without, yeah, this one. And where is it? Get triage. Okay. So this doesn't query, actually. It queries probably all. If we search for query data, check this out. It's like, yeah, iterate query. Okay. So we need something like this. We need something like this. We will have that as an inspiration, and we can start writing then. So def query old box. No, query review box, let's say. And we can pass the client here. If we take all of this stuff, use getbugs to fetch the full list. Getbugs is not affected by limits, however, requesting too much data will timeout. This paginates lookup to query 1,000 bucks at a time. We also limit. You should always limit your queries with include fields to only return data you need. Okay, understood. What happens if we then run this? Query review box bz and foo equals this breakpoint. For some reason my auto completion doesn't work. We can live without that. Let's jump to Fedora review service, and let's Python run Fedora. Yeah, ls run Python run which one? Bugzilla all tickets. Yeah, I can Python it, of course. I need to chmod plus x to this because it is a script, and do this. No such file directory. I mean, what the fuck? cd run. No. Ls run. Run. Oh, finally. API expired, so we need to prolong our API key. Okay, maybe let's try the production one. Maybe I have valid key for that. Since we are only querying, yeah, okay, we are only querying, so it's fine. Okay, fine. pp foo. So our function, yeah, our function didn't return anything, of course. If we then return, what is it we want to return? Box, probably. Queried box. The fuck? Let me show another example. I think we need to do something like result equals a list, and we need to list append or extend probably box and return a result, right? We need to do something like this, I guess. Okay, let's try. Why do we use this queried box? We need the IDs. Okay, I see. Extend takes exactly one argument. Ah, result extend, of course. Okay, foo. Okay, we have our list of bugs, and we can do something about them. Cool. I think we can remove the prints. Or let's keep them for the time being. Let's now figure out the query data like they have here. Do we have query data? We don't have query data. And they put it into iterate query, which is buzzer query. So query. Get box. We use get box, and they use something else. What's the IDE slice? It's created... Oh, okay. That's because we get the IDs. We get the IDs and then we query basically the IDs. So in our case, the query needs to be created here. That makes sense. Okay. How do they create they have query data like this. It's a beautiful dictionary. And we have this mix of dictionary and this, so okay, IDES only, is it here? IDES, it's not here. Okay, but it has component, right? It has component, then we need also product. Shit, where is the yeah, here. No, not this one. Yeah, build query. Okay. Okay, so we will do product is, in our case, Fedora and Fedora Apple. I think we want just Fedora. Our component is package review. What else? Offset limit, bug status would be nice. Bug status would be nice. Which means it is not closed. Okay, makes sense. Is bug... It's called just status, I think. Status. Okay. So this will be just status equals this. And we need to probably specify this like this. I want my standard quote signs. Can we query something now? Okay, so it's 600 bucks. It's 600 bucks, so we don't need the pagination. Cool. Now, is 600 about the right number? If we take a look here, it's 200 new and 300 modified, which is 500 something. And okay, maybe 100 of tickets that are not relevant, I guess. So we will need to filter this somehow. If we take a look at our foo 0, let's call this bar. Now we should have some completion. Bar. So we can have flags, for example. We didn't fetch it, okay. So the question is, Yeah, we include only summaries, I guess. Summary. Yeah, we have the summary. And if we try to do, for example, I don't know, web URL works. If we try to do get comments is a function that it gets us the comments. It gets us the comments. Now comment. Oops, I wanted just the first one. If we take a look at comment, we have some information about a comment. Okay, cool. Now we probably need to go through all the comments and figure out if there is a comment for that bug in a comment made by the review service, right? So let's do something like def only unknown, let's say, box, and we will pass box here, and we will do something like this, maybe return empty list, for example, and we create our client, then we get box, and then we maybe store them as old or unknown will be only unknown box from box, and we will try to, for example, for bug in unknown, we will print bug summary, for example. That doesn't really matter. By the way, what about my auto completion? I'm starting to be wrong type company box front end. What the hell? Company box mode. If we disable it. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Now, we should probably go through bug in box, and if something, then something, and unknown append bug, right? I have typo here, unknown. Okay, so this doesn't filter anything just yet. What do we want to filter by? By the comments. Why is my camera upside down? Was it like this all the time? What the hell? Let me try to disable my camera and enable it again. What the hell is happening right now? Okay. And it works now. Okay, No clue why it was upside down. Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, what was I going to do? I think I wanted to go to the review service. Maybe not. I want to check the kind of commands that the review service does. So let's find some new tickets. So check this out. Petr Pisarz created a ticket. Fedora review service commented. I am not logged in, so I don't see any emails. But I think that would be helpful because we have a creator here and we see the emails. I guess, sorry for leaking the email. And we don't see the name of the person. So we need to log in. I need to take a look what's the email of we need to take a look what's the email of the review service and filter by that. Okay, let's take a look. Come on. Okay, so we see a little bit more information since we are logged in. And check this out, Fedora Review Service has this email address. Can we copy the email address? We can. And we will put it here. So maybe let's go for comment in basically this bug get comments and if comment creator, I guess, equals this one, then let's open a breakpoint so we can see, because we are we write a lot of new code and we are few loops deep, and yeah, maybe let's check our work. So we are at line 44, which is this breakpoint comment. Yeah, that looks like comment from the review service. Creator is here. Okay, so we need to disqualify bugs like this from being added to the unknown. So we could do we could do some magic here, but I would like to do it like this. Is unknown. I will put the bug here and return true. Now this will be a part of that function like this, and for bug in bugs, if is unknown, that bug, we will append it. We can, of course, probably write this as a one-liner. We will do that a bit later. Now, we go for all the command we go command by command. If the command was done by the review service, then it definitely is not unknown. So return false, and we end up with if any of the commands were made by the review service, then it's unknown. Sure. So this works too. And I think we can, instead of summary, we will, or maybe next to the summary, we will print web URL, I think was the thing. So we can open them and make sure. And let's close this one. Okay, this is getting longer because we are fetching all the we are basically sending 600 requests. That's a bit annoying. We shouldn't spam Bugzilla often with this. I will let this run to finish, but then we should probably limit the query to, for example, 10, and work only with that small number. So this one is unknown is probably a very slow function. So anything that calls is unknown should be make sure we don't run it if we don't need it, basically. In the meantime, we can probably rewrite this function, right? Because I guess it could be bug for bug in bugs. If is unknown bug, right? That's it, right? And we should do something like, check this out, query review bugs. We should do something like bug equals bugs, but only 10 of them, right? This is of course only for debugging purposes. Or maybe just, yeah, let's do 10 of them. Okay, let's kill this. Let's run this again. So first we query 600 IDs, then we query and then we do this, right? Yeah, fast. It's fast. Okay. So if we open these 10 bugs, they shouldn't have any commands by the review service, right? Review. Fedora review. Fedora review. What's the string we should be looking for? Because okay, so we should look for Fedora review service like this. Okay, nothing, 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 nothing. Cool. Okay, so our filtering seems to be working correctly. That's cool. what now? We are hour in, and I think this whole task will take us maybe another hour. Yeah, I think this task will take us another hour. So I will end the video right here and we will continue in the next one. All right, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.